I guess I was starting to get tired, but mostly I thought that I got back to that point where I was 30 years old. I had my first little girl was getting ready to go to school, and I didn't want to be sending her to school and taking her out and putting her in school somewhere else and so on. And I guess, as I say, 11 years of being on the move like that was a long time. And had I not been able to have the job that I had at the time, I'm sure I would have played for much longer time. But when you were 30 years old and you went to apply for a job and you basically didn't have any experience, it wasn't a great motivator for someone to hire you. And I did have one person tell me, he says, "We don't hire hockey bums." And I said, "Well," I don't really consider myself a bum, or I wouldn't be here looking for a job. Thank you very much anyways. To stay in the game at that time, I was, as I say, offered a playing coach's job, and I probably could have strung that into just a coaching job, maybe, but I really didn't have any big plans to do that. I kind of wanted to stay home and sleep in my own bed for a while, I guess, and I did coach 13 years at the community clubs after I came home. I coached 1 year at the Isaac Brock Community Club, and then we moved from Valor Road out to where we were in Sturgeon Creek, and I coached for 12 years at Sturgeon Creek with my own boy. I guess we started out when he was around 5 or 6 years old, and I coached him until midget, after midget, and then they amalgamated Woodhaven Community Club and Sturgeon Creek Community Club together, and Woodhaven had an excellent hockey coach at that time by the name of Billy Patterson. And I had another hobby at that time. I was training retrievers or hunting dogs, and really liked that. And I'd been coaching, as I say, and my son was getting tired of playing. He didn't want to go over to Woodhaven, and so when it all boiled down, that was kind of the swan song there. And and just I enjoyed it right up until that point. And I'm still a little bit involved. I'm still on the board of directors of the Manitoba Hockey Federation. It used to be called the Old Timers, as more people probably know it, and more of a benevolent association, and try to help players or old players, or young players too, if need be. I did play a couple of games for the brewery team, and I spent more time trying to get out of the road of somebody that was trying to hit me and knock me into the second row of the stands. And I came home one day after a particular game at ex-Blue Bomber Benson, Boom Boom Benson. He'd spent the whole game trying to put me over the boards, I think. And I came home and I told my wife, Mimi, I said, "I think I'm finished." And she says, "Good." I would say I had excellent friendships during my career, but most of them are gone now. I had some great friends in New York that we corresponded with for long after my days there. I stayed great friends with Bill McKenzie. He went, after hockey days, he went to work for the Liquor Control Board, and I stayed good friends with him. I stayed good friends with Joe Crozier. Although we don't see each other very much, he's living in Buffalo now. But whenever we get a chance, it's like we're just like two brothers, I guess. And I was very good friends with Vic Lynn. Vic Lynn is gone now, so that's my problem. I'm 83 years old now, and the guys that I looked up to and so forth are at least my age or older, and most of them haven't been quite as fortunate as me.